Optical illusions. So these are our first two optical illusions. If you look at the picture and you just move your eyes around, it looks as if it is moving. But trust me, these two pictures are completely still. They're not moving, and it's actually your brain playing a trick on you. So then these are our next three optical illusions. So let's start with the bar. So which side of the bar would you say is darker? It looks like on the right? And then on the left, it looks lighter. Now let's look at the circles. The circle on the left looks lighter than the circle on the right. And then the square on the right looks lighter than the one on the left. But all of these shapes, like the bar, the circles, and the squares, are all the same color. They're not lighter than the other. It's an optical illusion. And then these are our next two optical illusions. So when you look at the picture on the left, what do you see? Do you see a young woman turning her head to the side? Or do you see an old woman with her face pointing down? I'm going to try to point out how to see both so that you can alternate between the two. So the line kind of in the middle for the young woman, it's her jawline when she's looking away, and it's the nose for the old woman. And then for the young woman, in the ear is an eye for the old woman. And then the second eye in the old woman is the eyelash and the eye of the young woman. So hopefully I explained it clearly enough so that you can see it. If not, let's just take a look at the picture on the right. So do you see a white face, or do you see two shadows of people facing each other, like a silhouette? So this should be easier to see so you can view them back and forth. So now we're gonna talk about why we saw all those optical illusions. The neural machinery that interprets visual, auditory, and other sensory inputs also interprets dreams and delusions. So in other words, the real and imagined come from the same place in the brain. And the brain makes inferences based on what you see. Now this is still being studied, but it's thought that neuronal feedback could be what makes us see these illusions. So now I'm going to explain the first two optical illusions. So these illusions are called illusory motion, and the only movement is coming from your eyes. So these two pictures are completely still. Illusory motion activates areas of the brain that are responsible for real movement, which is why we think that it's moving, but they're actually not. Now the shapes illusion. So this is called a brightness illusion, and this happens because our brain doesn't perceive true colors of brightness. Instead, it uses surrounding colors to compare brightness. So the same gray circle or square will look lighter when it's surrounded by darker colors than when it's surrounded by lighter colors. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the two perceptions illusion. So this is called an ambiguous figures illusion, and the two perceptions are mutually exclusive, which means you see one or the other but not both. And the object never changes, but our view of it does. And there are tons more optical illusions, so I highly recommend that you check some more out. They're just fun to watch, to see your brain get tricked.